Hello, beautiful beings. So glad to be with you all today. I have noticed a theme this morning around having a bad day. And I'm personally not having a bad day, but I did wake up from a dream feeling a little strange. And yeah, I wanted to maybe just do a reading slash clearing around the energies of feeling a little off. So I'm going to start off with our dragon guide for transmutation and around, feeling a little off, having a bad day, that sort of deal. And we get magenta dragon. How awesome. It says, enables you to bring forward your soul wisdom, awaken soul memories, and a higher spiritual understanding. Prepare for accelerated ascension. Ooh, and I love that the energies around this dragon are like all about transmutation going on. So there's just a lot of like fiery energies. When I'm recording this, it's a new moon, although you receive whatever benefits whenever you watch it. Yeah, what I'm noticing is last night I found like a piece of a ritual that I had forgotten to burn at the full moon. And I was like, oh, I've got to burn this. And I put it out in the pile, like, phew. And I got a little nervous with the fire, like the transmutation energy, because it was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So really the invitation here is just release, release, release. Use the energies available to you, use your support systems, let go, yell, scream, kick, burn, wash, whatever your release rituals are. This is an invitation definitely to use them. All right. I want to get more specific by using the herbal astrology as to like what exactly we're working on around having a bad day, what's being transmuted. Ancient memory. All right, maybe we're just having our our karma, as our ancestors are still having a bad day, and or that there's just we've had to fight for things so long that this is just the way it is. I've been joking with the line lately from The Mandalorian, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. And, but what if this isn't the way? Or what if the way is actually the new way and that is the way? So I guess with Rosemary, we bring in the energies of our ancestors. We call in all of our ancestors, masters, teachers, and loved ones. We call in the guides, gods, goddesses, and light beings that we're connected to. All helpers that want to assist us in transmuting, including the plant spirits, the elementals, and pure source light, and Mother Earth herself. So we bring these energies in. And we'd like to ask that any ancestors that are holding us back from being on our highest timeline because of their own stuff, we ask the healing energy be sent to them and release us from the ties that bind. If there's any souls from our soul groups, ancestral timelines, lineages, soul groups, so on and beyond, we also ask that be uplifted and removed. I'm kind of getting an image too as I look at this card. I've never quite noticed it before, and you might not be able to see it, but there's like ancestors just dancing in here. The somatic release of just like moving your body. Like maybe it's time to have a dance party after this to really help shake out the things that are stuck and trapped in our bodies. I think so often too for myself, like the dream realm, it's like the subconscious processing and fear and worry and sadness, and then also being intuitive. It can all build up, and it's sometimes hard to understand what it is exactly that we are working through. So if it's ours or somebody else's, there's so many layers to all of these things. So to be present with them. All right, now we're going to go to the Lumerian Oracle, which I love is another force of transmutation. And I'm just getting, a good little smidging of what we're going to work on here. So this card says, shine your light. No one can do as you can, yet we sometimes feel that we need to be a certain way, a way not aligned with our authentic self. It takes discipline to do what we love, especially if we are natural givers. It is easy to get caught up with other people's lives, tending to our own needs harms none, and we will have more to give. It is time to collect our light and shift the vibration here on earth, starting with your inner self of being. You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate power and remember what lights up your world. I love that this is a little mermaid goddess too. It shows me that there's perhaps some stuck emotions and things trapped. It's also this idea of like being part of your world. I'm just realizing that was a part of my dream last night, that somebody like was like, everybody, we can sing this song now, and was singing the Part of Your World song from Little Mermaid, and everybody was able just to like stand forth and sing it, and it was really beautiful. Completely forgot about that part of my dream, and I'm remembering it now. So in what is in that, there's a longing to be in a world that isn't the one you were born of. It's also this feeling of not being accepted into the world you were born of. So I think there's commonly a phrase that a lot of like, to be in the world but not of it, and I think that there's an energy with that card, and I think especially when it comes to shining our light and standing in our truth, and the way that these bad days can weigh us down, that we sometimes we let it bog us instead of lighten us, and of course everything that happens is guiding us towards something. It's just no bad day goes unlearned. And we can also give ourselves permission just to feel kind of crummy every once in a while and be like, you know what, this isn't my best day. Do I really need to do something? In all honesty, I don't feel like in my brightest light in this moment, but I feel like I want to connect with myself, and I want to connect with other beings who want to connect with themselves and do this work of transmutation, even if it's just removing some stuck parts of us. All right, I want to check in with our inner child now, see how they are feeling. So we're going to grab a message both from an inner child and a message from the ancestors that wanted to come through earlier. Oh, we got 3 cards that popped right out, and this could be a combination of all of them. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, so the first card that comes out is the High Priestess. All right, now this is a card of, it's also called the Fairy Godmother. And I think there's a lot of medicine today around the dreams, not only at night, but also the dreams of you're holding. Are there ways that you need to connect back with your inner child? Are there ways that you need to connect back with your younger self? Where are you restricting your ability to play? Where are you restricting your ability to be present in the moment, to be out frolicking in nature? And also, where are you restricting your ability to imagine, to daydream? I love that there's this castle in the clouds, but she's the merge between worlds, right? She's making these things come true. There is a bridge between what it is that we're doing. And as I say, like the dreams that come up, they're not always totally random. The releases within them are the releases. But using that magic to kind of assess, where am I at and where am I going? And am I happy where I am? Am I present where I am? Am I feeling at peace, at ease? What things are pulling me from that? And kind of realigning to those truths within yourself. What I love next, the card that came out, is the Guide of Crystals, which is the same as the Queen of Pentacles. So it really shows me that this High Priestess energy is merging with the other feminine component of grounding it down, of being present with it. I always love this little rabbit in this photo because it feels kind of random, but for me it's just like, it's not being chased by the fears. It's knowing that there's fears there, but not being debilitated then, not letting that stop you from sharing your gifts. Now, I like that the trajectory of these cards too. You've got, the pumpkin that was transformed in the coach, which feels similar to like a sleigh energy with Santa here. But he's outside of it now, and he's walking in nature, he's being present. I like that, the night realm has come into the new day, or perhaps to the end of a day. But this really shows me such a beautiful gift of generosity is blooming within you. Now this falls, these cards, the way I laid them, and even how they fell out, is the High Priestess fell under the Magenta Dragon. So this is still your transmutation energy. And this Gift of Giving energy fell under the Rosemary card, the Ancient Memory, all right? So it's also connecting with those lines of like, where in your family lineage or even in your soul lineage can you connect to those special gifts and connect and bring that into the work that you're doing. So here we have the Lemurian lesson of medicine and lesson of shine your light, but also it's mermaidy, and you have a boy gazing out the window. This is the Seven of Swords. And what I get of this this card is this is like the action steps of making dreams reality. It's taking the steps to write the book, to post the video. It is an invitation to do all of those things. And what I get from Mermaid here is like to share your personal story. Now, going back to The Little Mermaid, because I love fairy tales, if you've read the Hans Christian Andersen one, it's actually... it's not like the happy ending where she runs off with Prince Eric. Like, she actually evolves to the next part of her elemental journey, which is going from being like a water goddess or like a water elemental to an air elemental. And while of course there is the longing for union and all those pieces of the story, and that's where the Disney one kind of sits, which is beautiful too. There's still an understanding and a respect that our stories, no matter how we tell them and no matter where we choose to stop and start them, are relevant and that they are important. Now, I love that, we could stop the Little Mermaid story if she does find Prince Eric and they do get married and they do live a part of a happily ever after. But then the next part of the happily ever after is her evolving into an air sprite, and that's beautiful too. She wanted to be part of a new world, a part of the Fae realm world. I don't know. What I was thinking too is there's a comedian, Hannah Gatsby, and when they share their story in one of their comedy routines, I think it's called Nanette. They go into how I'll talk from their perspective, how I've been telling the same jokes over and over again, and I stop at the punchline, which doesn't do the full story justice. And, the stories that we tell impact our journey. And if we're not telling the full spectrum of our journey, we're often selling ourselves short. Now, we don't always have access to the full part, our full story at every given moment. We can't see beginning, middle, and end. But as we connect with our own energies and our own desire and our drive, and we connect with spirit, we know the general trajectory that we want to go. And we can also reverse engineer our life so that we can write it backwards. Here as a 108-year-old human, you can write down what it is that you're cultivating next and how you want to see it to come into fruition and how that feels, so this piece of manifestation. Now, of course, we're asking around, having a strange or an off day, and, these are cards, I'm just like, how do I hold these? I'm being weird. Okay. Okay. I did it. Okay, so, as we hold these cards and we look at them all together, what is the story that involves? Also see, like, these are coming from the inner child, right? You've got a mother, a father, both magicians in their own sort, and then you have their alchemical child, that creates something. Is it the child writing the stories of the elders? Is it the child writing the stories of the futures yet to come? So there's a lot to ponder here as it connects with both our inner child and our ancestral lineage. Also checking in with this, of this force coming in. This could actually, for some of you, be an elder father figure, or a business coach, or an older man, kind of guiding you generously. So just remember to give gratitude that, as well as this. This could be me. This could also be you. This could also be you. All of these parts are us because we are all the things. Anyway, just, connecting to the multiple layers of these cards, because these are general readings. And if we were to get more specific and do a one-on-one session, we'd be able to harness in the energies. But as we go general, it's just kind of connecting with these messages and how they resonate and come through me as the channel in this moment. Okay, so we're going to connect with the internal realm, and I just kind of want to see what's alive around this, as far as these stuck energies of having a bad day, feeling strange, what it is what is it that we need to connect with? I never really pick a cards. I just always let them fall out. All right, we got 2 cards, and that was how many I wanted. Ooh, oh, this is so lovely. Okay, so the internal energies, I think they're both showing me a way to look at yourself and look at your community, look at to the memories perhaps of your youth, maybe around family gatherings, around being together. And there's also, this is the White Heart, which is the same as the Fool card, which is always an invitation to start anew. Now, I think within the internal energies, what's really coming through is, if we're feeling stuck or sad or stagnant or whatever, this is an invitation to connect with others. Don't just connect with yourself, but connect with others. I've been doing the, I'm not going to remember the right combination of letters, EMSR? No. SMR? No. I don't know. The type of therapy that involves tapping and going into traumatic memories and that sort of thing. And I'm doing that. And a part of that process, when they start you, is going through and connecting to your joyful memories, connecting to the parts of your life where you did feel whole and empowered and love and light and connected. And then as those things, as you get into the stickier memories and the denser stuff that often is what's holding us back, or holding us in a placement that is no longer of resonance because it's in the past, we step forward and, we remember these parts of us that were happy, that were joyous, that were free. Now, I'll just share, as I look at these 2 cards, the memory that it stirs up for me is I went to physical theater school, which I also often call clown school, at Del Arte International. And we had a Friendsgiving, and I'd never been to a Friendsgiving before. I think I was 22. And we filled up this house, and there were tons of tables in there, and everybody was there, and we had this wonderful feast, and everybody brought their own dishes, so it was also a potluck, and, the headmaster of the school's wife made all this delicious stuff, and we went around, and everybody expressed what they were grateful for. Now, this is clown school, so you've got a lot of silly and playful people, so some people, were more in their playful, silly spots, and some were really in their, genuine, authentic truths. And I remember the headmaster, I don't think that's what they called them, but the head of the school's wife, she shared this beautiful, she was just like, yeah, you're all talking about how thankful you are to be here and be together, but honestly, I wish I was with my family. And, you guys are all great and everything, but I miss my family, and I wish I was with them. And she was just so blunt and bold and clear, and it brought so much more truth into the room in a way that helped everyone feel more connected. So I think that there's also remembering that there's those denser parts of you sometimes are the parts that can help everybody else ground down more in and feel more love and appreciation. And, as a clown, I always talk about it as being an acrobat of the light. You're a full spectrum healer, so you have to go to those dense, dark shadows, know and understand them, and then bounce back up to the light and be like, hell yeah, it was crazy down there, and da-da-da, and you bring back the messages from those darker places. And just the same as you're doing when you go down there, because you're bringing the higher messages from the light, and you become this bridge. Now, I'm not saying everybody watching this should go to clown school, but what I am saying is that these are parts of ourselves that we can connect to. And when you connect to that inner fool, that inner child, that inner playful place, whatever that looks like for you, you can really help transmute some of those energies of a bad day, whether in all capacities. So that feels really good. This is the same as the Ten of Pentacles. This is really a lovely inner manifestation too of wholeness, and I almost get a chakra alignment here. So we'll just ask that come in. I'm not going to go through all the chakras and do a full clearing right now. Most of you watching this have done enough of that to be able to do it pretty instantly, and we can ask our magenta dragon just to go in and cleanse, balance, and align all chakras, major and minor, also including the earth star and the soul star, so we get more into those higher systems. So what a beautiful invitation, and this really shows to me that we are on a threshold of really releasing some of this density from our experience and coming into a new truth. All right, going to connect here with our, with the physical reality, how all of this is manifesting physically, and what we need to know or transmute within that. So we'll see how many cards come out. I'm not sure. Got one. 8 of Wands. Okay. Oh, I drew the 8 of Wands and immediately have to sneeze. The Tower. Okay. And the King of Wands. Okay, very interesting path here. So these energies coming out physically kind of look like this. Now, 8 of Wands, for me, always represents a swiftness, a message coming. Not necessarily prayers being answered, but like a big shift. It's a shift of energy, and it's a burst of sudden fresh air, basically. And it is indication in the direction towards the things that you want and desire coming into. Now, we have to clear our perception sometimes as to what that looks like and how it manifests, because sometimes it's something that seems like it's not in alignment is actually what brings us more into alignment. I think I shared that I was working on buying a property, and everything was going great and amazing, and it felt so good, and then the energy just shifted so dramatically, and it was a rug pull, and I was trusting the process and having such a good time, and even everything felt so good. And I guess that's maybe what this Tower represents too, of things get shook up, things don't always appear as they seem. Now, what I do love about this Tower card versus it in some other decks is that there's a real playfulness in it, right? So you get like this, the squirrel, and there's butterflies, and just before this call, I was meditating with the butterflies that were fluttering outside by my stream, and I saw 2 different color ones, and one was like on a rock, and the other was like bright and flying through the air, and it was just so beautiful, and it felt like this full transformation energy. And I also saw a little chipmunk on my property earlier running around. So this energy, what I like about this Tower card, it doesn't feel as daunting as the traditional tarot, where someone is like leaping off of a tower into the unknown. No, this is also a sudden understanding. It's being struck by lightning, a sudden burst of inspiration. So, and that can come through positive or negative. The Tower card I've never found it to be as daunting as it seems. It just means stuff is about to get shook up, so get ready. And what's really beautiful in this is there is this quickening. This wand energy is the same energy as these lightning bolts. Now, what I love that it comes into being, right, as we follow this trajectory in the physical fourth, as we transmute this bad day, is it's going to get better, right? Now, what I love is, we've got this King of Wands he's in his strength. We can tie it to the Strength card as well. He's grounded, he's stable, he's got his magic wand. I love particularly in this deck because the strength of this man, he embodies a lot of the cards that we just drew. He's a lot sexier version of Mr. Claus here, unless you're into that. No judgment. But also, he's got the magic of the priestess. He's got this sacred fire. Now, what I love, too, is when you look really closely at this card, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but he's got a crown right here on top of his magic wand. I joke usually it's we're not going to call it a lingam with his light of wand there, but what it shows to me, there is something sensual about this. There is something strong and empowered. It's safe. There is this release of don't worry about it. Don't stress about the journey. Everything that you're working on is coming into being. Everything that you're working to transmute is being released, and you are strong. You're going to feel that backbone. You're going to feel your power. You're going to feel that strength again, and you are going to be your radiant lion self if that's the animal you identify. I do, because I'm a Leo and I am a lion. Look, this lion and I even kind of look alike. Just kidding. Not really though, because it's kind of true. Anyway, I digress. So this reading for a bad day is actually pretty jovial and very positive, and it really helps me to see that there's some great things moving forward. Now, I'm gonna draw just the shamanic oracle to help ground us down. And actually, I'm also going to draw, we're bringing out all the cards today. I'm literally, every single card I have besides Kipper and the traditional tarot I used. So, here we go. Salmon. All right. I love a journey of a salmon, and I think that this ties well with our watery card, but it gives it purpose. I actually feel like it's the combination of these two cards, right? This is moving through emotion, moving through water with purpose and intention. Now, a lot of people think of salmon, it's this internal struggle, like swimming upstream, and I have never felt salmon to be that way. I actually feel like they really enjoy the flow of the water rushing against them. Doesn't that feel good? Like, that's so cleansing and powerful. Like when you're laying and you're feeling the water like rush over you, or you're swimming it, because it's like it's blasting past you, and that's a really great thing to experience as swimming downstream. Sometimes like that's nice, and we need that merrily we go along. I support that. But we don't have to think of salmon as struggle. We can really think of salmon as just really engaging our purpose and enjoying all the lessons and various energies that move through. Okay, so lastly, we'll close off with our shamanic oracle here and see where this takes us, is the lesson of this whole situation. Emotional release. Well, there we go. That's what we were just talking about with the salmon, right? And with the emotional release of working with of engaging this purpose. Now, I really feel like these cards all super indicate that. It's like you do the emotional work so that you can start engaging the purpose, and nutmeg agrees. And then the salmon, is the emotional release. The emotional release comes from engaging your purpose and enjoying the ride. And I think that that's what this is too, right? It is the new beginning, a new threshold of how we integrate our truths. And these three cards also, they really indicate to me that we are that you are doing the work, and all is well. So let's give gratitude for all the guides, goddesses, light beings, ancestors, masters, teachers, and loved ones that blessed us here on this call. Let's thank the medicines of Magenta Dragon and Rosemary and the Lumerians and Santa Claus and the fairy godmothers and all of our friends and family and our Fool energy and the divinity of our own inner king and queen, our own inner lovers, and our own inner sorcerers and sorceress, wizards and witches. I give great gratitude for you all watching this today, and I send you many blessings on your way. Aho! May your bad day be great and continue to bring you all the lessons and transmute it into joy. Aho, and so it is. Bye-bye.